Hello team, how we doing? Gavin here, and today we're making some protein peanut butter slabs, if you like. I don't know what they call them, but protein peanut butter slabs. So this recipe is was sent to me a little while back, and I think it was a Joe Wicks recipe. And although it was a healthy recipe in all intents and purposes, it was actually really high in calories. So what I like to do is try and figure out ways to make I guess indulgent foods lower calories, because for me, you know, I can sit and eat all day long, and being lower calories I can eat a little bit more, or I'm just not going to derail my diet. So what we're going to need today for these bars, okay, you're going to need a protein powder. So this is the one I use. This is the one we sell at the gym, and this is an isolate. So it's not just a normal whey protein. It's got a casein and whey blend. And what I found is, through a bit of trial and error, is that actually it bakes better. It's better for cooking, essentially. You're only compromising on about 2 to 3 grams of carbs per serve, and I'm happy with that. We got some chocolate. I know I said low calories, and I'll talk you through that in a minute. We've got PB2, and we've got some ground oats that I've put in a PB2 container. And really, that is that, and a bit of salt. So I just want to go through the numbers first before we get into it, because this is going to be quite significant, all right? So for you guys that don't like to, you know, track stuff in MyFitnessPal, you just grab a notepad, do you know what I mean? And you write the ingredients, you write the calories, and then all you need to do is weigh the stuff out and put together, okay? So for me, like, you know, the protein powder is 68 grams of protein powder. We've got 120 grams of PB2, some chocolate, and some oats, okay? So just by swapping out this peanut butter for this peanut butter is a massive saving of like about 400 calories or something. So this is 554 calories for the 120 grams of protein of peanut butter, and this one is 702 calories for exactly the same amount. So you can see the difference by swapping this instead of this. You're going to save yourself a bunch of calories. So in fact, if I was to make it the normal way, it'd be 220 calories per bar. If I do it my way, it's 135 calories per bar. It's a big difference, all right? So we're going to get stuck into it. How are we going to do it? Well, simply, we're going to grab one of these. I'm going to pop it on a weighing scales. So I know people get a bit sort of like stressed out trying to weigh foods. It's either on the desk, so either on the bench, or it's on the scales. That is the only effort I make to weigh stuff. I push to the 0 on the scales, and I just start weighing this stuff out, okay? So we've got a scoop inside. So I'm looking for 68 or 70 grams of protein powder. Cool. It's a little bit more, it's 80 in there, but that's cool. And then we're going to go in with the peanut PB2, 0 the scales, so you know how you get back into it. And I'm going to go in with 120 grams. I'm not going to indiscriminately pour this in because it'll be too much, right? So pop that in. Pop that in there. And then the oats is going to go in it. So like this is just ground oats. So I grind it up in the blender, okay? And we're going to 0 it again. We're going to go for 30 grams. And the oats just add a bit of consistency to it to keep the bars together. Otherwise it gets a bit runny. And there we go. Pop that in. 15, 20, 30 grams, okay? Okay, so then what you do, you got a big sort of powdery mix like that, okay? Just mix it all together until it's all kind of combined. Get everything mixed up nice and well in there. And what we're going to do is we're going to add some water. So when you do this, make sure you add the water in slowly. And what you're after is like a dough, okay? If you put too much water in there, what happens is it simply goes too runny, okay? And it just doesn't have the same effect. And if it's too runny, it's obviously you can't pick the bars up, okay? They get really messy. So that's all mixed together. What I'm going to do though, because it didn't mix that well, is grab one of these, and just whisk it all up, and it just make sure it's all combined together. And what you find is you get bits of lumps and stuff in there. Get all the lumps out, which is tidy, and then you get this like a powder. Lovely job. Okay, now what do I need? Water. So I'm going to pop that on my scales. I'm going to push the 0 button. Actually, take this out, push the 0 button, and then I'm going to add a little bit of water. Okay, slowly. I'm going to mix it. And weapon of choice. Okay. So I know from last time I did this, it was 100 grams, 113 grams of water. So I'm going to put 50 in first, and I'm going to just see how it goes. Okay. Let's mix it all up. And what happens, it starts to clump, which is cool, and that's what you want. And you add it in slowly, because otherwise you end up super runny, and then you got to add either more protein or more peanut butter, and obviously the calories go up because you add in extra stuff, all right? But if you do that, that's cool. Just measure out again, and you're all good to go. So that was 50. You're gonna add a little bit more in. Make it to 100. So this is a bit now. This is the art. It's a little bit too much or a little bit too less, and you end up with a disaster. Okay. What happens, it starts to go into larger rocks or little clumps of that. That's kind of where you want to start going. Burning off some calories as we do it. So we're going up above my 113, there's 150 mils of water so far. Keep adding it. I don't know why, every single time you do it, does it differently. And then what happens is it starts to do that. And as the more you mix it, it starts to stick together, it becomes a massive dough, like a big cookie dough kind of thing. And you can see it's all clumping together, okay? At this point, you don't want to be adding much extra liquid into it because it really sort of goes really liquidy. So the more you mix it together, if you had a food processor, I'm sure you could do it that way. Then all of a sudden it comes into a big dough ball like that, okay? So I actually put in 140 grams of water for that one. I think I had a little bit of extra protein in there than last time, so I think that's what the goal was. So now, you got this kind of like peanut butter protein dough. Pop. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to get a bit of parchment paper because it gets a little bit sticky. So you're going to cut parchment paper. I got one of these. Pop that in there and just push it down, okay? And I'm going to grab my dough ball and pop it in. And then the rest of it can just go in on top. Now, tip for you. You need to push this down into the parchment paper, but what happens is it gets sticky. So, tricks of the trade. Back of a spoon, a little bit of oil, spray the back, and you can push it down and it doesn't stick, okay? So you push it down all the way to the edges, and then it does start to stick after a little while, so you got to keep on greasing your spoon. Okay, then what happens is you have a awesome sort of peanut butter slab. That's your base, okay? That is delicious. Woo! Disaster. Pop all that down. Good. And this makes 8 bars, okay? So you're looking at 35 calories for 8 bars, which is awesome. There you go. Right, I'm gonna pop that to one side, and now what I'm gonna do is melt the chocolate. So I normally use chocolate chips, but they've all gone. So I got this in the fridge. So I'm gonna weigh out 50 grams of chocolate. I've not used this before. Maybe a disaster. We'll figure out. So that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's 8 squares, okay? That is about 50 grams. 48 grams, okay? That on its own, okay, for reference, is 270 calories, okay? It's a lot of calories, man, and if you're sitting there smashing that down, you can see how easy it is to overeat on your snacks, okay? 270 calories, unbelievable, okay? For 50 grams, crazy. Anyway, now you know, okay? Don't overdo it. So I'm gonna pop in my kettle in there, a little bit of water in the bottom. Got my bowl, pop that on top, and I'm gonna pop the chocolate in on the top. And that'll be that. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna melt that real quick, and I'm gonna pour it on top of the peanut butter slabs. Pop her in the fridge or freezer. Job is a good one. There you go, look at that. Looking good, smells delicious. All right then, so that's melted, but because it's got bloody caramel in it, it doesn't melt like normal chocolate does. So I'm gonna pop it on there anyway. It doesn't matter. Get a spatula out, and then all you're gonna do is just do your best and spread it over. It doesn't quite mix like normal chocolate, so this experiment isn't the best, but that's cool. Get the idea. So it's all gonna be flipping rubbery, but that's all right. That's cool. It is what it is. Damn it. See, things don't always go to plan in the kitchen, you see, but that's cool. It'll still taste delicious, I'm sure. So anyway, just spread that out as best you can on top, and then good job. Right, so next thing you're gonna do is grab a little bit of salt, okay? You're just gonna pop that over the top. And that is that. So I'm gonna be back in 5 minutes, gonna let that cool down a little bit and then cut it up, give you a taste test, see how it goes. All right then, so now we've got our lovely peanut butter slab. So now while it's not like rock hard, because it does get hard if you put it in the freezer, you just slice it up, okay, into just 8. Nice and simple. And the kids love this as well, so the young fella loves this bar. So we're having a bit of a movie night tonight, so we're going to have these bars, nice and healthy treats, not crazy sort of horrible minky treats. So that is that. That's the slab. So I'm going to give it a bit of a taste test. So I'm going to get a bit with, oh, lovely job. So look at that. You know, it's weighty, gooey, chocolate on the top, bit of salt on the top. Honestly, they're amazing, and for 135 calories, brilliant. You know, you literally like couldn't tell the difference between a normal version and anything else. And because they're low in calories, they're quite gooey, they're quite rich. They're actually quite satisfying, so you don't feel like you've been shortchanged in any way, if that makes sense. Anyway, that is it. Enjoy the video. If you did like it, give us a like, give us a comment, give it a try, let me know how you get on. I'd love to see how you get on with it. But top tip, chocolate chips spread better on the top, and it comes like a bit of a, when it's cold, it cracks, and it's really nice, okay? So I'll say have a good day, and I'll see you next time. See you guys, bye.